Good morning. So I just connect in with where I want to go with what the point I'm wanting to make or what I'm wanting to share. And so what's dropping in for me this morning is that, so in the work that I do, I work with the intimate nature of emotions, or the intimate nature of what's happening in somebody's field, right down to what's happening at an intricate nature with their interaction between their nervous system and their tissue. I have an ear for it. So what that means is that when I'm in session, it's like I have an ear for myself and I have an ear for them. So when I'm listening or feeling them, I'm feeling what is coming into my field because I'm aware of my field. And so then I'm aware of what comes into my field. Yeah, if that makes sense. And I'm going to get to it. So what this means is that going through life, normally I can be sitting at a cafe and then I can hear the tune of the birds, I can hear the tune of the people that are in their jobs, I can hear the tune of the people who are minding their own business, and I don't even necessarily have to hear their words. And then I can hear the tune of someone who really has an underlying need, but they're saying lots of words, but the underlying need is there. And so I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I have a conscious ear for when there's a disturbance in the field, or someone's really calling out for assistance or asking for something. We all have this. Every single person has this, but people may not be attuned to it. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm no different to anyone else. It is merely that my job or my attunement to something is different to what everyone else's attunement is to. And so my job is to feel into and find those discords and then draw that reflection or that awareness back to somebody. But in a coffee situation, so someone in public, so they're external of me. They're in their own business. They're having their own business. It's not about me interfering with their business or being involved in their business. It's none of my business, right? And what's interesting is that with this frequency, I can feel the business because some people are really crying out or screaming for help, even though they're saying words that says, I'm fine. And in the past, I would step in or I'd say something just to make it better for them. But really, I was only making it better for me because I wasn't comfortable with them being in so much suffering and discord. And what I realized is that no one was soliciting my advice. No one wanted my advice. No one researched me and paid for my services. So it was not my business to give them advice. It was not my role to give them advice. So what's interesting is that doesn't make me a selfish person who doesn't assist and help someone in need. I will still, if someone drops something or someone's lost, I'll still do that because that's the kindness of someone who feels when they're in need. But what I'm realizing is that there's a fine line between when to step in and when not to step in, and to define the difference between whether I'm doing this for me or whether they really need the assistance and help, whether they're in danger or whether this is fundamentally a need that is screaming out that they need, if that makes sense. The other thing that I wanted to say was when we are in a position where we become aware of ourselves, we make a choice. Well, I can make a choice whether I want to be in the discomfort of that conversation that's happening in the cafe, because there was a conversation in a cafe this morning that was really loud and it was coming into my field. And it was coming into my field so much that I could have got irritated by it. So I noticed the irritation. I could have got up and walked away. I could have turned around and I could have said something. But what I did was I sat in the discomfort, because within the discomfort, I got to feel so many layers of myself. I got to feel all of the experiences of myself. I got to feel the multitude of choices that I could have made in that situation. I allowed it to matter to me, not because I wanted to help them or fix them, but I allowed it to matter to me to actually understand my boundaries. So I watched people come and go. I watched the people who were so focused on their purpose and where they were going, and it didn't matter to them. And then I watched the people that it mattered to. And then I watched the person who was on the other end of the interaction and how they were trying to juggle and dance with this situation. And it showed me that because of this ear, lots of things have been in my matter, lots of discords. And so I've been juggling a lot of discords because I have a lot of time and I have a lot of space. And I have a lot of space for reflection. And I don't have to value or take in all the experiences. I don't have to value or take in everyone else's suffering or problems. I have to define the difference between my value and what is important, because the answer lies here with the people who are on a purpose. They're on their purpose, so they're blinded to or unconscious to the disturbance or the suffering, when really the person who was making the disturbance was on purpose. She was trying to deliver a point. She was trying to get her point heard. She was trying so hard to get her point heard that it became in everyone else's matter. I don't even know the point of what I just said. Let me just connect with it. But there is a point, or maybe there's not a point. I think the point is that I've identified something about myself. And now that I've identified that, I'm aware of it. And now that I'm aware of it, I can choose where I want to sit and where I want to be, because I don't need to learn that anymore. I've learned that. And now that I've learned that, I don't need it. And so now I can move beyond that. That's the point. See ya. Bye.